Larry would be standing on the sidelines, and we kept him close to our sidelines sometimes where he could talk to me. Everybody thought it was, well, Larry doesn't know much about football. Yes, he does. But I kept him close to me where he could look at me, and he would look at me oftentimes, and he would point at the defender and go, and that was his way of saying, Coach, this guy can't play with me. And he usually couldn't, and I usually listened to him, and Jimmy's in the audience today, and Jimmy, he saw it as fast as Larry saw it, so we had a great chemistry there, man, and Larry was a phenomenal player, very well deserving. We've got several Hall of Famers that played receiver for us that are inducted already. We've got a couple other guys with 80-plus catches that will be inducted, and I tell you, he was one of the best ones we've ever had, and maybe to ever play here. What he did was phenomenal, being drafted straight out of JUCO. Something that doesn't happen very often, but a great player, great deserving award for him, and glad to see him in here. And again, on his behalf, I certainly thank you guys for making him a part of this great institution. Thanks a lot.
Being part of the Pearl River athletics community has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. From the moment I stepped on campus, it felt like home. It was only 45 minutes up the road from where I grew up, but from the very first practice to the last game, the journey has shaped me not only as an athlete, but as a person. The lessons learned on the field, effort, discipline, perseverance, leadership, teamwork, sportsmanship are values that I will carry and guide me in all aspects of my life. I love that picture. I want to thank the Lord. Without him, I am nothing. We are all nothing without him. I want to thank my coaches for their unwavering belief in my potential and for pushing me to be the very best version of myself. Coach Trey Kidd, Coach Bubba O'Brien, Coach Brian Brooks, those are all my youth coaches from Bay St. Louis. I want to thank them for teaching me the game of soccer. Soccer was really not my favorite sport. I love baseball more than soccer. But here I am. To Coach Andy Kiblin, who was my coach at St. Stanislaus, I want to thank him for giving me the chance to develop and grow as a high school athlete, putting me in situations that were uncomfortable against some really great teams. I think my sophomore year, I was a starter. We played against a lot of great teams, Madison Central, Tupelo, your big powerhouses. Opened my eyes to what kind of athlete I needed to be and push myself to be. Grateful to Coach Brewerwood. Thank you for taking a chance on me out of high school. I didn't look like your average soccer player, and you tell me that all the time. But you were the ultimate motivator and leader of men. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for keeping me on the straight and narrow path, for holding me accountable, and showing me skills needed to be a true leader. What you have done here at this institution is nothing short of incredible, and that is a testament to your dedication and your work ethic. To my teammates, thank you for the camaraderie, fierce competition, and unforgettable memories. Together we share victories and defeats, and those shared experiences created bonds that will last a lifetime.
You may have heard the analogy of a team being likened to an iceberg. You may not have heard that, but the truth of the matter is that an iceberg, you only see 10% of it sticking up out of the ocean. There's 90% more down under, behind the scenes. The people that are practice players that work hard every day to develop the starting five when they go out there, they're important too. And you couldn't be what you are on the court if you didn't have all those other players backing you up. And we didn't have good PR people and bus drivers that were always glad to get us there and get us home safely. So what I would like to say about that is that everybody that had to do with any program for the 12 years that I was coaching there is greatly, greatly appreciated. And all that stuff and hard work that those people did, all those 14 acrosses, that all those subs ran just as hard as the ones that started the game. Most people don't know about that. Most people don't appreciate it. But the coach knows, and I definitely knew. And I want to tell you this. I could not be up here today, and I could not be the recipient of the Hall of Fame if I had not had Hall of Fame type players that played for me all those years. And again, I appreciate every one of you that came, that made the effort to drive through all the storms and rain to get here. And again, this is a great honor. This means the world to me. And I will always be a Wildcat. Thank you.
When you come from a disciplined family with disciplined parents, it's something you're used to. And that first year, I didn't feel like I had none of that. But he came in and established order. And for some reason, he chose me to be a captain. Maybe because he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. But he put me with two other fellows. One never stopped talking. The other one I don't understand because he's... And I'm just being honest. I'm just telling the truth. But we spent time together. We talked. We worked things out. Because if you think back a little ways now, 1974, it was something that happened just a few years before that. So we had this division. And anybody knows you can't have a team with division on the team. So JC would pull me aside, talk to me, talk to Tony, talk to Ed. And he used us, really, to draw the team close, get to understand, spend time with. So I encourage anybody, before you make up your mind about somebody, sit down, have a meal with them, talk to them. Because, how you going to know something if you hadn't spent any time with people? So we spent time with them, got to know them, got talking, got encouragement, who's better, who's not, who's good for this, who's not. So we got a team out of a bunch of misfits, if you ask me, but look, it worked out. I'd never been on an undefeated team, but one thing I can say, the group of guys I came along with never stopped trying to be undefeated. And that's what matters. It's hard when one person is pulling one way and another person going this way. But if you all pulling are going in the same direction, then you can accomplish some things.
Moving day at Pearl River Hall. It was in the early 80s, and I moved into Pearl River the door in Pearl River Hall, and it was already 80 years old at that time. And like you said, it's probably gone. Between my roommate, his nickname was Buckwheat, and of course I was Poncho. We only had 6 drawers in that one chest of drawer, so we needed more storage. So I hopped on my unicycle, rode over to the cafeteria, and let me show you what I got. I got 4 of these milk crates, and I was riding back to Pearl River Hall with these. Well, we had one security guard on that campus at the time, and his name was Troy. Unless you were coming back from Bogalusa late at night, his name was T-Roy. Well, some of y'all may know what that means, and some of y'all may not, and that's okay. What I can tell you, my next stop was in Dean Hamill's office. And anyway, Dean Hamill made it very clear that I was wrong to borrow those crates, and he made it crystal clear I was wrong to borrow those crates. But he did mention we were going to have a mascot there that year, and he thought it'd be a good idea if I tried out. So I'd like to say there was about 50 or 60 people tried out, but it might have just been me. I don't remember. I really don't remember. I know I'll leave some people out, but I do remember Dr. Askew, Willis Lott, and of course Larry Stanford. Who don't remember Larry Stanford? What a great guy. I can remember at some basketball games, I'd slip into the locker room of a men's game and take the referee's shoes and throw them through the baskets when they're in there looking for him. And he was great. He always called me out on it. So what's it like being a mascot? Well, it's hard. And what I mean by that is somebody comes up to you and they says, man, I love the way you fell off that goalpost. It looks so cool the way you hit the ground. You know, when you fell off the side of the bleacher, that was pretty funny. When you ran at that basketball goal in your unicycle, it looks like it just hit it so hard. How'd you get up so fast? Well, none of that was planned. Yes, it hurt. I lost my grip on the goalpost in big old Mickey Mouse gloves. Yes, it was a long fall. I didn't mean to fall off the bleachers, but them stupid big feet you have to wear, it's hard to walk and navigate. And if you look at the suit, you can barely see through those eyes, so you're always running into stuff. And I actually have the scars to prove it. It's crazy. But it's also rewarding. The school spirit, you can energize the crowds, boost the morale, give the children a lifelong memory. And the connection you make with the crowd is whether the athlete and the fans. Wearing the Wildcat suit kind of embodies you to kind of be a Wildcat in a playful expression, whether you're dancing, making fun of the other teams, the ref, making the students laugh. It's kind of a mix of leadership and entertainment, and pride that makes being a mascot role fulfilling.